Okay, hi, it's Rosalie, and I'm going to show you the process I go through for creating a scrapbook kit that I could take to a crop with me and have everything I need for it. So, the first thing I did, I don't want to completely show you my complete messy room here, but this is a stack of papers and photos, and I had started out being nice and neat with putting them into paper bags, Ziploc bags, but I got really busy and I didn't. So there's a crate of paper, and there's a crate of paper, and so I've gone through a stack of photos and then all the paper and created some starter kits with various papers. I have one here I'm going to show you. I have one cardstock in here, and that's just how it ended up. I normally do include cardstock though in this paper pack, as well as various kinds of pattern paper. In this set, I think I didn't do as good of a job on some of these, like especially when I'm just pulling random pieces of paper, but normally you would want, like a various size background papers. Various size, in terms of patterns. So it's hard to record and do stuff at the same time. So this is, like a cityscape background or pattern paper. Sorry, no, this video is not very good. I'm just on the fly deciding to do a video. So, so then you would want other background paper to be of different size patterns. You would want some bolder patterns as well as some small repeating patterns, which none of these are. So this is a bad example, but I think I actually could make this kit work though. That's sort of somewhat small repeating patterns. But yeah, so I think I can make this kit work. This striped paper, I think it'll work, even though it's a little bit different than the rest. But anyway, and then this this alphabet sticker sheet just happened to be on my desk, and I was like, hey, that actually goes pretty good because of the gray and then the somewhat cream background there. So I think that'll work, and it's a little bit messy, which is what the pictures ultimately are. Somewhat, they're not, photo award-winning pictures at all. They're pictures from a camera fight that we used to always have. It's an ongoing camera fight. And when I was sorting my photos, I was putting all the camera fight pictures together, but I noticed that they're several years apart, so that didn't work. But anyway, so these are the pictures, and the story behind these pictures are that it's a camera fight that I used to have with my best friend and my sister, and I happened to work in an office with my best friend, so we often tried to surprise each other with the camera. So these are 3 separate occasions, 3 separate times where she almost got me but didn't quite get me. So these are the pattern papers I've chosen, the alphabet I've chosen. I'll probably go and pick another alphabet with a bit of a bolder color after I'm done, after I go through some things. So I've picked the paper and the pictures, and now I'm going through my what I've been kind of calling my inventory catalog. This I got at a garage sale for a scrapbook store that closed down, and it's one of those catalog racks that you see in a, I don't know, like maybe an auto parts store, Lord Co type of thing. And what I've done is I've created a catalog of all my various stamps that I have, and I have my stamps categorized. So the first category here is the journaling category. So this is my the catalog that shows each stamp that I have. Pretty much every stamp I have is in this binder, and it's labeled Journal 1. Hold on, I'm going to pause you for a second so I can go grab Journal 1 and show you. Okay, so this is Journal 1 and Journal 2. I just went and grabbed Journal 1. So I have these CD cases in a CD holder, a large one that stands in my craft room. One day you'll see it because I'll do a craft room tour. But so you can see here, journal 1 is there, journal 1 is there, and then inside the CD case are the stamps. So I go through this binder, I go through all the stamps. So before I started filming this, there are 2 things that I started to do. 1, I started to look for coordinating stamps that would go with these papers and these pictures, and then I write them down. On this case, I am writing it in a notebook, and I'll take this piece of paper out, put it in this pack, so that when I pack for a crop, I can pull this out and then go around my craft room and pull out everything that I've written down that I need to complete this layout. But secondly, as I was going through here, going through my inventory binder, these post-it notes, because when I first started scrapbooking, it didn't bother me to know where I got these stamps. I was just willy-nilly buying them. Usually I buy them on sale, blah blah blah, and I open them up, and when I started the project to put them into the CD cases, I just threw away the packaging, so I didn't know where they came from. So I spent a couple of weeks or a couple of days, I can't recall, it's been a few months now since I did this, but just going through the internet searching each and every one of these stamp sets and finding out what company made them and what their actual title is. So and then when I did that, I just wrote it down on a post-it note and then stuck it in my cool binder here. But I want to get this post-it note off of here because A, sometimes I can't see what's behind it, and B, they're just post-it notes, so they're not permanent. So while I was looking for stamps to coordinate with this set, I started to also write down the post-it notes from the binder onto a piece of paper so that I can create labels. So I came across a set that I don't have a label for. And I thought maybe somebody out there might know what this set is called or where it's from. I'm 99% sure it's a, let's see if I can get that shadow out of there. Oh, there we go. I'm 99% sure it's from Michael's somewhere, but heck if I know. Sorry about that glare. There we go. So if somebody out there knows what this stamp set's called, leave me a message. Okay, so just because I know now you're probably wondering about this catalog rack thing. Again, these are all, let me zoom out. It's hard to zoom out and turn the page at the same time. These are all my stamps. Most of them, I think I got most of the labels, and some of them I'm not even that worried about. But okay, so sorry about that. My camera kind of stopped filming, but we're still on the journaling section here with the stamp sets that go into the CD cases. Sorry. And all these white sheets are all journaling. Things that I think I can use when I'm trying to journal on a page or create a title or make cards. All the same difference to me. Or alphabets, yeah. And then the orange pages are images, what I consider images, and they're a bit of a big category, but they are also orange on the CD case, and they're also labeled Images Volume 1, Images Volume 1, so I know exactly where to get these stamps And orange is pretty full, like I said. And then we get to the purple part, and purple is backgrounds and borders. And then we get to the pink part, and the pink is all close to my heart, and they go this way. So I've even labeled my close to my heart sets. So Hostess Reward stamp sets only have one. Holidays, Seasons and Natures. These are the way that Close to My Heart was also categorizing their stamps, but unfortunately they do also change, but at the time that's how they were categorizing them. Flare, blah blah blah, cricket, blah blah blah, miscellaneous, and green is wood stamps or stamp sets that come together. So the glitz sets come in a cute little tin all together. And I normally have, and these are some Stampin' Up! Sets, and I don't know where this set's from, I got it a long time ago, but I do have other green pages. I think they're over there on that pile there. And they're for my wood stamps, which are up there. But the wood stamps are, I've purged a bunch of them, so I have to redo their index sheets. Okay, and so that's what I would go through for stamps and write down, you know, where to find the stamps and how they go with this layout. But I'll show you the rest of this binder, because as I go through that whole section and then actually go through this whole binder. So this next section is kind of dual, triple purposes here. These are stencils that I have, that I own, different kinds. So this one, for example, is Crafter's Workshop, the mini chicken wire stencil. But here I have it with Ranger texture paste, and this is Dreamweaver black texture paste, and then this is Tattered Angels spray mist. So it shows me what I have for texture paste, and it shows me what the difference is with these three products. I'm not sure if this was a good idea or not. Mostly I think it's good, but at the same time, I don't know. Eventually I'm going to have more ways to use a stencil, I hope, because I don't use my stencils very much, so it would be nice to find a way to use them more often, use more stencils more often. So that's what this is, this section. And they're all labeled, so this one is Kaiser Craft quarters, and it's actually a 12 by 12 sheet, but it has, you know, 4 different. Oh, these are cute. They're actually cake stencils from a cake. There's that one, and these here that you use in baking. I guess you put it over your cake and shake icing sugar on them, but I just use them for in my craft room. Yeah, so that's the stencil portion, and then we're coming up to the dies portion, and same thing. I've cut them out and then labeled them here, and I think I might have started with all my big dies. So I'll just go through this whole section here too. Sometimes it's real easy because you know you're not going to use a pillow box on a layout. And actually, you know, when I started this, I had a much smaller book, and the whole purpose of the smaller book was I created this index, and it was smaller, and I would bring it with me out shopping or to, you know, the garage sales or whatever, because sometimes you run into a great deal and you're like, oh my god, I need that, and you get home and you already have it. Now that hasn't happened to me, but I'm so cheap that I would never want to waste money on something like that. So so my whole idea is just avoid wasting money by knowing what you have. So that's how this inventory binder started, but as you can see, it's huge now, so I cannot pack this around with me to the stores when I go shopping. So I have to come up with a different way to do that. But thankfully, because I use this for my layouts all the time now, I'm getting used to knowing what I have. It's things like this that I bought at a scrapbooking store when it was closing down. I bought it, and it's Elizabeth Craft Star Fancy frame edges, and I thought, when I seen it in the package, I thought it was to create Polaroid frames, which I suppose you still could do, but it's not what I thought it was, and turns out I'm missing a piece of this, which would be some sort of, I don't know, card making die. I'm not a card maker, so I'm not very happy about that, but I could still make this work, and so I just have to take note of this, and I've taken note of what I need, which die coordinates with this to make that square card that this actually coordinates with. So it's things like that, or things like these where like labels one. This is one of my favorite labels of the Spellbinders Nestability set, but say this one here, I hardly ever use. It's labels 19. And there's nothing on this that sticks out to me, so sometimes when I'm shopping and I see it, I like it, and then I think, oh, but do I have that one? And I don't actually know sometimes, so I need to find a way to transpose this onto some sort of shopping guide, which I have done in Excel, and it doesn't have visual, but it does have the name, the brand, the size, blah blah blah. Okay, and these are my embossing folders. Yeah, so they're just, this is one of those hockey card things. Hockey card sleeves, pocket sleeves. And I've left myself some room to grow because I don't dry emboss that much, but and then we come to the punches, which are over there on the wall. But so my American Craft knockouts. These are other border punches. I don't use border punches very much, so I'm trying not to collect them. But at the same time, I think, well, maybe if I had more, I would use them more. But who knows? And these are all the punches that I use. Looks like I have to label that one. Okay, and then we get to, this category is called inks. And this is my Spectrum Noir set. I have the complete set, so I'll just put that in there. The Distress ink, I don't have too many of these. Not too many. This Color Wash, Adirondack Color Wash. Alcohol inks. Don't have too many. Liquid pearls, I only have the one color, and I'm okay with that because you can change colors of it. And this I found pretty cool because I own a Pazel's Craft electronic die cutter, and I did purchase some CDs of images from them as well as downloaded images from their craft room. So one day I was on the Pazel's website and I found that they had a PDF of the images from the CDs, and I was like, wow, that would be so helpful because now I can again look through here, see if it matches my work that I'm working on, my layout, and then go and cut it from based on these index sheets. So I'm working on something similar for all the images that I cut out from that I downloaded from the craft library. It's the only problem with buying stuff secondhand like this. These rings are broken, but But you know, like I don't use any of these because I'm not sure what's on there, and it would seem like it would take me forever just to look through the library there. So that's puzzles, which is pretty cool, I have to admit. I'm very happy with that section. Okay, now we get to the Cricut. I did buy a Cricut, and this is my Cricut section, labeled off from A to E, F to J, K to O, or P to T, and U to Z. So I went onto the internet and found the digital handbooks. Sorry, the handbooks for each cartridge, and PDF'd them. In some cases I was able to find them already PDF'd, and then printed them for pages to a 8.5 by 11 copy paper. And so each cartridge shows the images here, which in some cases this is this is a good example because these images are fairly large, and I like that. So for example, this camera would be perfect for these pictures because it's a camera fight. So same as some of these sayings, click and whatnot. Maybe some of these frames, oh snap, you know, that. So I can look in here and I can say oh, and then I can either just simply write it down on my piece of paper here, close to my heart, art booking, and then page. That says 40. You can't see it. I can in real life. It says page 40, and I would assume that was page 41. So Cricut art booking, page 40 and 41. And, you know, like I'm just showing this, but I would have a closer look at some of these pages. And again, because I do this all the time, I'm beginning to know, you know, which cartridges might have something that I would like. This is the Cricut Artiste. Sorry, I can't zoom out. Like I said, this is just kind of like a spur of the moment kind of filming this. So, so for example, here's Cheerful Seasons, and I really don't think there's probably nothing in here that I would use for this layout, but I can flick through here and it goes fairly fast once you know. But maybe I would like to have some sort of flourish to add to the camera or something, you know what I mean? So even though you kind of have an idea that this might not be a very good cartridge, if you flip through you might see something that you didn't think about. So that's the Cricut section, and that's how this binder ends. So I can just flip through there. Okay, now I'm going to get up and walk and show you something else. So I'm going to cover the lens so that you don't get dizzy. So, gotta find it. So, that's one part of what I look for when I'm doing planning my pages. But in addition to that, I have invested in this monster binder, which is called the ScrapRack by, it's called ScrapRack.ca, but I think she changed her name to Totally Tiffany. So this is organized how, in the way that Totally Tiffany has kind of recommended. And so in the first beginning part here, mine is far too full, so the pages are precarious, to say the least. But the first section is alphanumeric. That's all this precarious section up here has, thickers and whatnot, alphabets. So I will flip through here to add to that title. Like I said, I think it needs a pop of color, so I'll pick something from there. Also in the front here I have some of the collection sticker sheets. So I have the Glitz Dapper Dan collection of papers. So there's a sticker sheet to go with it. I put up there because mostly you use it for, you know, you can add to journaling or whatever, and I know where it is. So after the alphanumeric, you have themes A to Z, or sorry, I'm Canadian, A to Z. And so I've labeled all these as well. So under Americana and Arts, hold on. I don't know why those, oh sorry, so this first section is animals and arts and crafts. So there's still some miscellaneous journaling stuff up there, but then you get into the animals and arts and crafts. So just various stickers. The beach, birthdays, culture, children, cooking, everything. So what I'm going to look for in here for that layout is probably under W for work. Yes, work. So now I can come through here. Even though it's a camera fight, I will talk about how we work together. And there's some die cuts and stickers and whatnot. Like this, I'm going to love to put that on that layout, or a layout similar that has to do with work. Or maybe I want to talk about how we're such good friends. And so I can go back here to F. Maybe we don't have a friends category. But either way, you can see how useful this would be. Yeah, if I don't find anything in the alphanumeric, the themes A to Z category, I come back here to the color category, and I can easily flip through here and see anything that is brown, red, blue, pink, green, purple, yellow, orange, black, white, and multicolored. So I noticed that my layout is something like a teal blue, so I can come back here and I see I have some bling that's in that sort of color. But it also has a little bit of green in it, and I actually think that these are probably better for that layout. I also have some flowers and just anything that's green, so I can also use that. So I'm going to cover you back up again. And the last thing that I kind of go through just for layout planning is I have this here that is full of just partially used or new products. And I'm trying to keep the new products out. I'm trying to use those or put them elsewhere and put the more like products that I've had for a while or that are half used or whatever into this section here, and I'll pull it out and go through it and add to my layout planning, as well as this, which holds my washi tape. It's not ideal, that is for sure, but when I moved craft rooms, I had to find something to hold my washi tape, so this is it for now. Alright, so I take the washi tape from there, I put it on my page so that I know, these colors I think will work well with this layout. In addition to that, I also, you can see through there, have many of the Close to My Heart ink pads. I'm collecting all of them if I can. And I will take them and use a random stamp. In this case it's just a heart. Something small that I can then write the colors of the stamp pad next to it. So this one is cranberry. I'll write cranberry there. I think it'll go okay with that layout. Juniper and lagoon as well, I will write there. Additionally, if there's an inspiration for this layout in terms of scrapbook sketch, whether it's this one, the Close to My Heart one, or something from Pinterest, or just a scrap lifted layout from a magazine or a book or something, then I will make a note of that on this page as well. And lastly, I have this fish bowl, and it's just full of ideas. So if I'm having some sort of creative block, I just dig in here like a lottery, pull out this ticket, and it says use glassine paper. That's if I'm having, you know, like a block, like I want to include something different. Use book paper on the layout. Use stickles. So there's, you know, aside from everything that I just showed you, I do have other scrapbooking product, you know, spray mists and thread and stitching techniques and all that kind of stuff. So that's all in that bowl. So if I have a block, I can, if I'm, just to make sure I use up my products that I spend so much money on. So that's how the layout comes together. So so far you can see where I'm at with the planning of this layout. I will probably finish planning this layout. I'll show you the final package, and then once I do the layout at a crop or something, I'll probably try to film that too, and then you can see the finished layout once I have all these pieces together, gathered up together. Okay, thanks. Sorry for such a long video. Talk to you later.